So just like yesterday, right? To write an equation in slope-intercept form, obviously we need the slope, which is my m, and we need the y-intercept, which is my b. Now to find the y-intercept on a graph, it's super easy. We just find where the two lines cross. Like we said, x marks the spot. That dot in the middle is my b. On a table, we're going to be looking for something different. What we're going to be looking for is an x value of 0. Okay, go ahead and highlight x value of 0. All right. So we're not going to be able to physically see the point in which those two lines cross, but we are going to be able to find our b rather easily. As soon as we see an x value of 0, the y value next to it, right, the corresponding y value, that's going to be my y-intercept, or my b. And we'll see what that looks like in a second. Just like we always do, we're going to find our change in y and our change in x by drawing our little arrows. Like I said, we're professionals at that by now. It doesn't really need explaining. Finding the difference between the two numbers. How do I get from 0 to 2? Plus 2. How do I get from 4 to 1? Minus 3. We know how to do all that. We also know to put the change in y over the change in x to find our slope and simplify the slope as much as possible. Once we have our m and our b, just like yesterday, we plug them in, box it up, that's our equation. This should be very, very simple today, hopefully. So if I'm looking at this first table down here, I'm going to move this up. All right, with our highlighters, we're going to find an x value of 0. Do you guys see a 0 on the x row up here on the top? Yeah. I see my x values are 0, 2, and 4. So I'm going to take this 0, I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to highlight the number right below it, the y value that goes with that 0. All right? So for that 0 that we found, what was the y value that we highlighted, Angelina? 6. So my b is equal to 6. Just as easy as looking for the point where the two lines cross. You see an x value of 0. Oh, I'm going to look right under it. Boom. That's my b, 6. Because if I had a graph, right, you don't have to draw this, but if I had a graph and I was going to graph these points, 0, 6 from the origin would be 0 spaces on the x, 6 spaces up on the y. And we can clearly see that this would be a point on this line that's also on the y-axis, that intersecting point we saw yesterday. So it's presenting itself in a little bit different way. It's just as easy to find. B is equal to 6. Now for my slope, I'm going to do my arrows. How do I get from 0 to 2 on my x? Adding 2. That's my change in x. And for my change in y, how would I get from 6 to 12? Plus 6. Give me a thumbs up if you remember how to do that. Oh, only 6 of us remember how to do that. Oh, Dylan doesn't remember. Okay. Good. So my change in y is 6. My change in x is 2. What's my fraction going to look like when I set it up?
6 over 2.
6 over 2. Angelina, do 6 and 2 have a factor in common we can simplify? Yeah, what factor? 2. So if I divide the 6 by 2 and the 2 by 2, that'll give me a new fraction. What's 6 divided by 2? 3. Good. What's 2 divided by 2?
0.
Close. 1.
Wait, what?
2 divided by 2? 2 minus 2 would be 0. 2 divided by 2 gives me 1. That's right. I know what you meant. What does 3 over 1 equal to?
3.
Just 3. So I know that my b is 6. I know that my m is 3. I'm going to replace the letter m with the 3, the letter b with the 6. Who can help me write this equation? Y is equal to what, Ray?
Y is equal to 3x plus 6.
Perfect. how easy we feel this is. Thumbs up, super duper easy. Thumbs sideways, mildly easy. Thumbs down, super, super difficult. And it's okay wherever you're at. Okay, it's cool. If it's a little bit tricky still, we'll get some more practice. But like I said, this is all stuff that we've been talking about, right? So, you know, if you did well on the previous test, this should come super, super easy. If you didn't do as well, this will be a good review, especially with our test corrections due on Monday, right? In just a couple days. Make sure you guys are getting those done, right? Not only does your grade improve by getting test corrections, do you guys remember what else you get if you do test corrections?
You get your name on
You
the
get a name on the
star.
star, that's right. Name on the star on the wall of the stars. Thank you, sir. Yes. Sure. Let me pass these out and then I'll sign you out real quick. Hold on. What's up? Yeah. We should first notes at the same time. I do.
I glued it in upside down.
You might not want it. There you go. You got the same one? Yes. Perfect. Try your best, please, to go a little light on the glue. I'm all out of glue sticks for right now, so don't overdo it, please. Thank you. Give you another 30 seconds to glue in. Welcome back.
Hello.
Khalees, go ahead. Here you go. Don't close it up just yet, Diego. Don't close it up just yet. All right, so same exact idea. With our highlighters, we're going to find an x value of 0. Now, how many zeros do you see on this table?
2.
2 of them. Are we going to highlight both of them?
No.
No. What value are we looking for to be 0? The x value or the y value?
X.
The x value. Take a look back. Highlight the point on the table with an x value of 0. So take a look. Here's my x's, right? I see an x value of 0, right? I'm going to ignore this one because that's a y value. I'm not going to highlight that one. But what else am I going to highlight on this table?
2.
The 2. That's right. Great job. So if I have the point 0, 2 on this line, what's my b value going to be?
0. Oh,
2, right? And I saw that mistake a little bit on the test too. I think it was number, I want to say 4 on the front. There was a table that had the point 0, 7. A lot of people said b was 0, but in fact it should have been 7, okay? So you're looking for the x value of 0, but the b value is the number below it, so which in this case would be 2. What am I going to draw to find my slope? A couple arrows, right? So on the top, how do I get from 0 to 1?
plus 1.
Plus 1. Is that 1 going to go on the top of my fraction or the bottom?
The bottom.
The bottom, because my x goes on the bottom. Now, for my y's, my change in y, how do I get from 2 to 0?
-2.
Minus 2 or negative 2. That's what's going to go on the top. Everybody with me so far? What's negative 2 over 1 equal to?
-2.
Just negative 2. So who's got our equation here? Once we plug these two in. Yeah, Jawad?
Y equals -2 over 1, x -2.
Minus 2?
Negative. Oh, positive.
Plus.
Plus 2, right?
Yeah.
So when we're writing the equation, a couple things. I love that you said -2/1. We could just call it -2, right? Now, I know before we said the slope should always be a fraction. That's if we're going to graph the line, okay? If we're just writing the equation, we want to clean it up as much as possible. So if there's a 1 underneath my 2, we don't need it. If there's a +0 on the end, we don't need it. If there's a 1 in front of my x, we don't need it either, right? And then my b value, if I don't see a minus sign, we assume that it's positive. Thank you. So we're going to add that +2 in there on the end, all right? And there's my equation for that second one. Still feeling okay? Okay. Take 2.5 minutes. Let's call it 3 minutes. Take 3 minutes. See if you can get these next two done on your own. I'll leave this one up as an example. Be careful with your arrows and your simplifying, but I want to see if you guys can figure those out on your own. So take 3 minutes right now. Is that there? Oh. 3 minutes, see if you can figure those out. Yes, sir. In 3 minutes, we're going to talk about it, and then we'll get started. I want everyone to be on the same page. I know you're eager.
Like, I already finished this, and I guarantee it's correct.
I know. Like I said, we're gonna wait so everyone can be on track. +4, +6, 4, 2, 3. Boom. So what are we looking to highlight on these tables again? We're looking to highlight an x value of what? And let's take a look. An x value of what?
Oh, 0.
0. Is that an x value of 0? Is that an x value of 0? They're in different spaces. What we're looking for is 0. It might not always be in the front,
Yo.
but what we're looking for is the 0, right?
Mr. Church,
What happened?
I did it wrong. I'm only there
You did it wrong?
talk, and I was like, I did it wrong.
That's okay.
So it literally has to be 0 for the x. Is that
Yeah, so wherever the x value is 0, it's not always going to be the first one.
bruh? Oh.
So the slope looks
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry,
good.
I'm
This
copying
one's a
you.
little bit more than 7. A little bit.
My
Yeah.
I copied you guys.
So, yeah, sometimes the 0 will be in front, sometimes it'll be in the middle,
You could
sometimes
probably
it'll be
admit to Mr. Church.
whatever's
that you
under that
copied
0,
he wouldn't.
that's your B. It's
Why
not
you all
always the
copying
first one.
Oh.
So I try to switch it up. I want to see if you can catch that. That's
Mr.
alright, just
Church.
make the change. So,
Shut up,
I know
you
you
gotta
were here
do
for this
it.
part, but what we're looking for is an x
I bet you
value.
got nothing on it.
So if I'm looking at x, point to the 0. Perfect.
Does he have
What number's
anything on
right
that
after
paper
that 0?
doing?
He's the first
Well,
one.
that's gonna be. It's not always gonna be the first one. Sometimes it will be, but what we're looking for is that 0. So the slopes look good. This one is +3, right? If I go from 0 to 3, adding 3, so it just makes it positive. But then we're looking for what's under the 0. Everyone's having that same concern. So nice, good. Now for this one, make sure we're doing y over x for our slope. This one's good, 4 to 6, but this one was not. Good. I see, yeah, a lot of people are doing that, that's alright. Great job, catching those.
Mr. Church.
So for the change in order to change x, you could start from A. So from here, how would I get from
You
3
go
to
to
7?
that almost like every day. You go to
And from here, how would I get from -12 to -6? There you go. So, so the B and the M we want to treat as 2
dirty.
separate steps. Yeah, we're looking at the 0 first.
Okay, and
And then we're going to, just like yesterday, we look for the dot first, then we do the rise over the right.
don't you want to
Stop that cable.
Time's up.
Take another minute.
Don't be trying to go for me, baby. It says. Right.
What's the B value? So we should be going through the y-intercept. So the rise over the right is good. This line's got to be 5 spaces down.
Okay, tomorrow you gotta change your nose.
Same thing here. Begin by
You
making the
didn't wear those
dot.
for like 4 days straight.
Begin by making the dot box. Then rise and run.
I'm just playing.
You
Okay.
rose and ran from the center.
Okay.
So for these ones,
Thanks to her, I got the math.
does that look like an x value of 0?
Don't
No,
give
that
me
way.
math.
So what's under that
So
zero?
let him fail.
Well, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting tripped up.
Church, I need to use restroom, bro. I'm about to shoot myself.
Just make a little graph here and fix it. Yeah, as best
Then
as you
you
can.
really gonna have to take the trucks.
Great job.
Church, I'm about to shoot
It's
myself.
good.
Church, I'm about to let it blow up.
Yes. Yeah, we look for that 0. Boom. We got 11.
I'm confused right now.
Okay. So 4 and 6. Is there a number that 4 and 6 have in common?
Oh, it's coming out.
Divide out of there.
I miss Johnny.
It's coming out.
I miss Johnny.
Well, 4 is 2 times 2.
Oh, so two.
So 2, right? Exactly. So if I divide the top by 2, what do I get on the top?
Yeah, she's back to
That would be my fraction. 2 over 3. Great job, Julie. Yeah.
Oh, it's coming out, bro.
Excuse me?
It's coming out. Dude.
I don't think that's true.
Huh?
I think it just. There's someone else. Jasmine's going, and then when Jasmine comes back.
Okay.
Mr. Church, I'm
Jasmine, go ahead. Huh?
I'm hungry.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, let's take a look at a mistake that a lot of us were making, understandably so. All right. Can I get a volunteer to read out step 1 for everyone?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Gianni.
Dolly?
I completely lied.
Okay. Jawad, you want to help him out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the point on the table
with the x value of 0.
Okay, perfect. Diego, one more time just so we can really understand it.
Highlight the point on the table where the x value is 0.
Perfect. With an x value of what?
0.
0. It's not always going to be the first point, right? Where do I see a 0 here?
Right
In the
here.
center.
In the middle. So that's what I'm going to highlight, okay? I understand why the first 2 problems, it was in the front. But we're looking for the 0. We're not looking for the first point. So what would my b value be here in this second problem? 12. It's a great mistake to make, so don't beat yourself up. Now you're not going to forget that. For my change in y, how do I get from 3 to 12?
Plus 3.
Plus,
Oh, plus 9.
plus 9. From negative 3 to 0,
It's plus.
plus 3, right. So what's my fraction going to look like?
9 over 3.
9 over 3. We switch them around. Y goes on top. Now, do 9 and 3 have a factor in common?
Yes.
Yeah, they got a 3. So if I divide 9 by 3, what do I get on the top now? 3.
And 1.
And 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. I don't need that 1 on the bottom. I could just call it 3. So y is equal to 3x plus what? 12.
I got that right.
Gianni got that right. Great job.
He said he got it wrong.
Yeah, we're going to finish this first. So we should be looking at this right now. I'll get it to you in a second. Any questions on that second one? Anybody get that right?
Yes. No.
Even if it was the second time around? Perfect. That's fine too. Last but not least, what's my b value here?
11.
11. We're not looking for the first one. We're looking for the 0. There's my 0.
This one was pretty hard.
Right below it gives me 11. This one was a little hard. Let's see.
You said what?
The b is fine. Diego, you writing this down?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. So my b is 11 right there. Okay. Now for my m, I'm going to do my arrows. How do I get from 3 to 7? Plus 4. Thank you, Bree. Plus 4. And then from negative 12 to negative 6, add 6. Okay, please stop talking. If you ever forget, just look at the number line. Start at negative 12. How many spaces is it till you get to negative 6? Well, it's 6 of them, right? So what's my fraction for my slope going to look like? 6 over 4?
4 over 6.
4 over 6. What factor do these two have in common? A 2. What is 4 divided by 2?
2.
What is 6 divided by 2? Can I simplify 2 over 3 any further?
No.
Nope. So what's my equation going to say? Y is equal to what?
2
Angelina?
over 3x plus 11.
2 over 3x. And then Angelina, what's my b? Plus 11. Thumbs up, you got that one right too? That's okay. You see where you made the mistake?
I made no mistake.
Okay.
You.
Good. Even better. All right.